Have you ever watched an eight-horse hitch plowing a field? My name is Dr. Bill Payne. I'm the pastor of First Methodist Church in Live Oak. For many years, I pastored a church in rural Ohio while I was teaching at Ashland Theological Seminary. And when I was going to church, there were times when we would pass over 20 Amish buggies on our way to church. They were everywhere, and they're buying up the land, and they take out 100-year mortgages, and they just like to do things the old way. And of course, Amish people live a simple lifestyle. That means they don't use plows. They use they use plows, but the plows are not driven like a tractor is driven by horses. And in the early spring, oftentimes you will see a team of horses or a what they call a gang plow, I think, in which there will be a lot of horses pulling a single plow. And they're all yoked together and they're pulling as one team. And when you see eight horses pulling a plow, you know there's a lot of energy in that plow that allows it to do what it's doing. And that's pretty awesome to be able to see that. Um, because an eight-horse hitch team can pull more than a one or two-horse hitch. Think about this. The land has been fallow for the winter. It's gotten hard and compacted, and you have to turn that over. Now you can take a plow and a one-horse uh, plow and do it, but you have to use a small implement, and it's going to take you a very long time. But if you get a big plow and a lot of horses, you can get that work done in a quick amount of time, and you can have accessories on that plow to do other things as you turn the soil over. It's a beautiful thing to be able to watch. Well, in Matthew, Jesus says this. This is coming from Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and are heavy laden, burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke, my hitch, upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and I am meek in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. This is an agrarian analogy, and Jesus is talking about what I was talking about. If you have a horse or an ox or a donkey pulling a plow by itself, it can only do it so long and so far. And if it's weak, it's not going to be able to do as much as it could if it was still strong and not tired. And so if you take that and you yoke it to another animal, you have just increased its capacity to do something that it couldn't do by itself. You can see the task and you may know what needs to be done, but that donkey's just not going to get it done in a good time by itself. Life is like that, my friends. There are things that we have to get done, paths that we have to walk, roads that we have to travel, obstacles that we have to circumvent. And at times it takes all of our energy, all of our emotional strength, and we are on overburn and we don't have anything left to give. And it's like, how am I ever going to get this done? How am I ever going to get past this? It could be a sickness. It could be a family problem. It could be a financial crunch. It could be a relationship difficulty at work or at home. And you're just overwhelmed by whatever it is that you're trying to deal with. And Jesus invites us and he says, take my yoke upon you. In other words, attach yourself to Jesus. And if you do, then Jesus is not going to pull it all by himself, but he's going to pull it with you. He's going to lift the burden from you and enable you to move forward in a way that you didn't think you could do by yourself. This is the secret. How? do you yoke yourself to Jesus? He doesn't say, let me yoke myself to you. The scripture says, yoke yourself to Jesus. Well, that's a whole different point. Because if we want Jesus to help us with our burden, if we want him to pull us along in life, we have to invite him into that relationship because he's gentle and meek. He's not going to force himself on us. His yoke is easy, his burden is light. He's going to be with us. So, how do you yoke yourself with Jesus? First, it begins by acknowledging that you need help, that you are not able to do everything by yourself. Secondly, it means asking Jesus for help, saying, Lord, I am at my wit's end. I've tried to do what I can do and I can't do anything more. Would you please come and help me? Third is allowing Jesus to enter that yoke and pull along with you. That means if you want Jesus to help you, you have to make room for him in your life. You have to let go and let him pull your load with you. So many of us are so accustomed to this great man theory that I got to do it all by myself. If I don't do it, nobody's going to do it. It's not going to get done. It's the supermom mindset. And when you do that, you can do a lot of things by yourself. But there comes a point where you need more than what you or anybody else can do. And you need to remember that Jesus wants to be yoked to you. Don't hold back. Let Jesus come into your life. Let him be yoked to you. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I know you need rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and I am meek. I am humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. God bless you and allow God to pull that yoke for you this week.